Hello there, and welcome to episode 11 of my tutorial series for Dwarf Fortress. In this one, we're going to continue our endeavors from the last couple of episodes. There is a guild hall to build up, and we have to set up a bit of an extra luxury housing down there because the time of the mayor will come, and we still have to relocate our industries from the topsoil level to the lower level. So there's still a couple of things that we have to do that are going to accompany us through this episode. But I have, of course, a new topic for this episode as well, and that's going to be glass. Because I recently discovered that we happen to have a layer of sand on this map, and that's quite awesome. I mean, sand is the big thing you require to have a industry of glass, obviously. So what we're going to do next is we're going to set on up a little bit of a chamber here, and we're going to set up ourselves a staircase down. So there we go. Dig that out. This is going to be our sand collection chamber, and we will make ourselves a staircase here. So to make that happen correctly, we'll have to construct that thing upstairs now as well, because you cannot mine out a upwards staircase. That doesn't work, of course. This really boggled my brain a while. That's why I'm explaining it so much. Maybe you are smarter than me in the first place. But if you ever struggled, this is the command to dig a staircase. This only works if the environment ain't dug out yet. This is the command to build a staircase. This is what you require if the environment is already mined out. So, it's just the difference that really confused the hell out of me until I understood that finally. Hope you guys don't have that many problems with that. So now we're constructing the next staircase, and that's the thing now. And the next thing I'll do is I'm going to construct myself a wall here, because I really don't want that this little area here is ever going to be interesting for any attackers. So this is our little sand farm here, and that's all it requires to, that's all it needs to be. So next thing we're doing is we're going to set on up a zone for sand collection. It's going to be the entire little pit here. It's our sand pit. And with the rest of the industry, we go downstairs. Just like that. So where do I have most of my fuel? That's going to be in that corner here. All right. So we're going to set up our glass industry probably in that area here. So glass is a lot of fun. If you ever have worked with it, it's really amazing. So we're going to have some good usage for that. Okay. But first we have to work a little bit around the edges. So, meanwhile, our jeweler, well, he's still cutting gems. That's totally fine. No encrusting work happening so far. I still want to check on out if the configurations are working out nicely. So, let's see. You will take items from these stockpiles. There we go. I have lost a little bit of my progress between this and the last episode because I casually deleted my squad. Never ever press this X here. It doesn't even prompt you. It doesn't even ask you if you really want to disband your squad. That shocked me so much that I had to load the last autosave. So there's a thing or two lost in the in between. All right. So we've actually managed to strike quite some gemstones, so I really can't say no to that. We're going to construct some artificial wall on top of that, no problem. Here we go. Ain't as beautiful as the other stuff there, but I just can't say no to that gemstone deposit there. Okay, so next thing we need for glass setup is going to be a glass furnace because it requires its own type of hardware. And we're going to set up now a zone here for the storage of the sand because I don't want to let my glass blower travel all the way up and down. There's somebody else grabbing that sand for him. So we're going to find that in the furniture tab. Type is sandbag, and then we'll have to enable all the qualities here. That's because the bag the sand is going to be stored in has a quality. And if I don't allow all these qualities in there, the dwarfs won't store the bag because the bag has a certain quality. And since there's no quality configured, it's really a mess, okay? It's sometimes the worst part about it is I mostly understand why the game works, how it works, you know? But it's sometimes a little bit much, all right? But that's how it works. So we're going to expand our apartments here. Never stop expanding your apartments at any point of the early game, because there will be migration towards your place. I'm here just checking on out. Oh, this one looks good. This has a star icon. I'm looking for certain qualities. I don't want to dump the high quality beds into the low quality rooms. So this one, it's a superior quality bed. I'm just waiting for my gem cutters to get their job done. So I also have discovered the secret of my gem cutter, why he's not working. That's totally crazy. So what's happening there is my gem cutter, remember, I even have set up a specific worker case for that, okay? This guy is only doing that. So I watched him. What he's doing is whenever something up there in the farming area is grown, he sees it as his solemn duty to cut it down and stop cutting any gemstones he's cutting before. He's somehow very fond of his harvesting work, so I've just decided that I'm going to employ another dwarf. I just wanted to, or let's make that too. I just wanted to showcase that sometimes there's these funny things that make your dwarfs go their own ways, and it doesn't really make that much sense. It is as it is. So I just employed a couple of gem cutters extra, so that never hurts, you know. We will have enough work for that amount. I had that question, so that question was unanswered in the last episode for me, and I was really struggling to find out why. So here we go. The glass furnace has been built up. So let's just see, do we have enough bags? That's going to be the big question. So here we're going to tell the game to collect sand for us. That's a good start. It doesn't get deleted right away. So that looked, let's see. Did the job get cancelled on us? I'm pretty sure. So the thing is, the sand industry does require bags, quite a lot of it. So let's see. Milk animal has been cancelled, but no, look at that. We have sandbags. Awesome. So we actually have enough enough bags already. I'm relieved. Okay, so from this point on, the rest is quite easy. So glass, you can make either stuff out of green glass, clear glass, or crystal glass. I would strongly recommend you to not make at the beginning any clear or crystal glass unless you have tremendous amounts of wood to burn, because the thing is easy. Green glass only requires sand and fuel. Clear glass requires a material called pearl ash. Pearl ash is made out of ash turned into potash, and then you take that potash and turn it again into pearl ash. The amount of wood and fuel you require to get that done is insane. And it's really good for biomes where you have a lot of wood and fuel. No questions asked. It's as valuable as bronze and more. These clear glass and crystal glass recipes are worth quite the dime. But green glass is already worth more than the typical walls like shale and cinnabar and all these things. All these stones that have no direct economic use, they're worth less than green glass. So you can make a lot of cool things out of green glass. We can make green glass blocks, for example. So for today, come on, let's do a green glass bookcase as a first example. So this is a fantastic way of creating items virtually out of nothing, because we really only need one thing, and that's oh, we have derped on the Caravan. Let's see what they can do for us. And you only require sand and fuel, and that's really not much. That's really not much. So I'm bringing some finished goods bins over there. Well, I don't want that one. There's useful things in there. This one is useless. So I totally wanted to trade. Damn. Oh, man. I really hope I didn't lose that opportunity. So trading is actually quite important, and we could have stocked up on things that we required. So let's see if we still can make it. Sell some of those stone rings and the stuff that we've brought up there. So I hope my broker is going to be over there soon. Yeah, trade at the depot. So here we go. We just made it in time. Wonderful. So here we have all those stone rings that we've crafted, and all that stuff that nobody requires. This is actually a really huge amount of wealth. I cannot point it out enough. As you see there, some of these rings, dolomite ring, $52. I mean, it's made out of flux stone, so it's worth quite a penny. So we can really earn quite a lot of money with that. So I just will offer the first bin, and let's see what these guys have. So I totally want to buy that leather, because leather is amazing to buy. Leather is, in my early game plays, always kind of a bottleneck. And here we can just buy quite a lot of that. Also, we happen to be a little bit low on food. We only have 300 units. That's a little bit low-ish, at least. So we could buy ourselves a lot of meat here, or fish. Plump helmets would be available too, but I don't want to buy those. Let's go. Ah, yeah, here, leaves and fruit. Let's just buy everything these guys have here. So it's a food caravan. Good thing that we checked out on that. So I'm basically buying all those berries, and yeah, well, cheese is quite costly, so we're not going to buy all that cheese. But well, as you see there, cheese is extremely valuable. But we're going to trade like that because it's our homies. We will trade to their benefit, but you know, it's okay. It does pay off to have good relations to your home fortress, and therefore we're going to leave it like that. So I hope that fungus stuff doesn't get into our way. So oh, doorbell just distracted me a bit. So we are now witnessing the first glass product. That's where I wanted to zoom on in, but I sadly can't find it there. Well, yeah, the food stuff we've bought will bring us through the next time so darned well, and that means our fortress is in this regard at a very good spot. So let's check out what we have made bookcase wise. So there we go. So we have now a green glass bookcase. It's sadly not valuable enough, but I see here that we have a shale bookcase that's already been gemmed. Wonderful. So also I want to increase the total amount of doors in my city. We don't produce enough doors, in my opinion. So whenever you notice that something isn't produced in a amount that pleases you, you can always increase the production numbers there. So we're going to go for rock doors here. We're going to go for the rock doors, and we're going to increase the desired number to 6. Because, you know, obviously we seem to need that many. The same goes for the beds. And let's up those numbers for all those items that we furniture our rooms regularly with. Rock coffers, and also the bookcases, because they obviously get demanded quite a lot. Let's go for tables and chairs as well, so we always have enough production available for bigger projects. Okay, so to automate that sand production, we're going to set up some nice work orders here. So only small things here, because I don't want to go big here. We're going to go for one work order collect sandwise, and well, oh, oh bloody! I thought I could give it some let's see, amount of items. So let's see. Probably it's not automatable. I've seen several things. So, well, we can say white sand, can we? So, the amount of available white sand items. I don't know if that'll trigger correctly. But, let's see if that will do the trick. So we're going to make ourselves one more item. Glass is amazing also because it is magma safe. So you can make floodgates and other parts out of it that will be in contact with magma without you having to do anything in particular. And that's for me really amazing. I'm not convinced that this works as intended, but we'll see about that. If it produces more than two bags of sand, it's working too good. If it's not worth producing anything, it's not working at all. So let's see. We have produced our first green glass coffin, and as you see there, the value is moderate, but it ain't bad either. So I really like that. And we start to see our first high quality doors. Wonderful. And let's see, do we have gemstones here? Yes, we do. Perfect. So we got to set up a new work order for gemstone encrusting, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I've had that bound to the jeweler's workshop locally, but we don't want to do that anymore. We want global jobs. So we encrust furniture with cut gems, and we go for a trigger that triggers whenever, you know. Let's see if we can configure that a little bit more detailed. So, or, well, I could manipulate it to decorate certain types of items. Can we go for several? Yeah, well, so I could tell them to encrust only certain types of items if I'd really want to, but I don't think I want to. So instead, we're going to tell those workshops to only take their items from certain stockpiles. So this way, they can't be able to encrust from the wrong stockpile. Let's see if that'll work out. Configuring your workshops in a way that they do what you want is probably one of the hardest tasks in the game. So why are you guys not doing what I told you? So let's wait a day more. But it actually should be okay. Well, here we go. It's getting into the list now. Sometimes it takes a bit longer for the new procedures to be accepted, but here everything works as we want to. Picked up the shale door and starts to work on it. Wonderful. So this way we're going to create now furniture pieces that we will use for the high quality apartments, and that's also why I wanted to improve the quantities there, because it really helps to have a higher production there. And check this out. I mean, This thing now is worth 58 bucks, and that was worth 23 bucks. So encrusting with gems is an insanely profitable business, you know. So and the most fun part is we could now encrust that door with even more gemstones. You know, you don't have to stop there. The only rule is that it can't be the same gemstone twice on the same item. So you can increase the values of these items tremendously. So, all right. That's just coming to at the right moment because we need to establish that guild hall here, which looks right now rather grim and bleak. So let's give them some goodness here. So we ain't got any more valuable statues, but that's okay. We're just going to place them down nevertheless. Statues have a nice value on their own. Let's see if we can't put down... we don't have cabinets? Oh, we need to change that. I somehow missed that, huh? So, let's see. Bookcases, probably. Probably we have some nicely decorated bookcase already. Here, there's a shale bookcase. Take that. And since I noticed that I missed out on the cabinets, let's change that right away. So, for example, I could now go for a green glass cabinet production, because we can actually do that. So, let's see. Let's set that up and have some fun with it, shall we? Let's make that happen like this. So we have glass cabinets in this fortress. Why not? Let's see if the rest of the work orders is behaving nicely there. And as you see there, we have more workers arriving, but that's at the end of the day always a good thing because you're getting the ability to get stuff done quicker this way. And I'm realizing that we got ourselves a high value bed, so let's put that in there. Great opportunity. And this way we're producing bit by bit more and more valuable items. So here this throne is getting some nice value in. And we be better engraving that hole here as well to add in some more value. And let's see, we're at we got to work on that still, but the engravings will do their trick. So I just wanted to note one thing here. I noticed that the floor here is getting reclaimed by fungus, and that might be a problem for your sand industry at some point. If that ever happens to you, you can just get on in there, edit the area. I said, okay, I don't know why that's like this. So you just have to include the walls then, because as far as my knowledge goes, your dwarfs can collect sand also from the walls. They won't mine it, they just collect it from the walls, and at some point the entire floor will be covered by fungus. That's a side effect of our farming endeavors, as far as I've understood it. And, you know, therefore it's necessary at some point. Either or otherwise your production will clog up. And as you see there now, we got that automated now. The production here doesn't require anything but coke. And let's check out the coke supplies right there. Because one thing is sure, you might have a lot of fuel at the beginning, but it really gets used up quite quickly, especially the more industries you add on top of your fortress that consume that stuff. But it seems as if we are still on a pretty good way, but I take that as a inspiration to, let's say, here. There's some more bituminous coal. Let's pick up some more of that, you know? It never hurts to replenish your stockpiles. Also, the game has this interesting mechanic that whenever you enter a certain vein, there is always a chance of minerals being in that vicinity. It's just like in real geology. Some minerals have a tendency to have certain mineralic neighbors that, Dwarf Fortress and its sense for realism. There's always something. So let's update the equipment in between every now and then for your soldiers. At some point, we want to have them a full gear, but it still does take a while, as it seems. So, let's see. There's still a lack of armor. Well, we will get there. We will get there. For starters, it ain't that important right now because we are still training our miners. What we can do in between, always a pretty good practice here, is to destroy all the items that have a big X or even double big X in front of them, because these are so heavily worn that you do yourself a favor when you smelt them down. The downside is I haven't found a way of automating that yet, and yeah, what can we say? This can take a while to get all the items sorted out, because you have to, of course, go through every little thing alone. Here, for example, footwear. Let's check it out. Alright, so all the shoes of your people, but there's also the military stuff. I really hope that we might get ourselves some better management tools. For example, here, those high boots, they are, most of them are already trash. So it really pays off to destroy these every now and then. So here the gauntlets can also go. The small X, I don't think they are already down enough for that. But this way you can also provoke your industry to produce something new. Because I have set up my industries to check for certain numbers. And if that's reducing the numbers, so... But it's a little bit of an ungrateful task, I can't deny. So there's a couple of things in this game where I really hope that we're going to see some quality of life upgrades in the future. Because they're... Yeah, well, it doesn't... It is okay the first few times, but the more often I do it, the more it grates on my nerves, you know? But maybe there is something you guys can add how to ease up these things. So let's see, where was it called again? There is one task that we have to activate now here. Melt metal object. So we have now designated items to be refurbished, so we have to assign the melt metal object job now as well, because otherwise your smelters won't check for the melt designated items. There we go. So it doesn't happen on its own, you know. You have to get assigned that job to people as well. So one thing I do notice, my collect sand job is working too well. So sadly, we cannot do that like this. It doesn't work. So the thing is, as far as I understood the sand industry, whenever you assign some job here, the glassblower will first gather his sand and then do his job if you don't do it differently. So stockpiling the sand in the beforehand is just trying to make my work faster. So we have a couple of events here. So we've struck some gemstone while we were mining casually some coal, which is totally nice. And one of our dudes has grown attached to his gear. Well, that's not that good, but whatever. And we have a case of diplomacy. So our friends from the mountain homes are there again, and they want an order from us. I don't know what to order these days. We don't need that many things anymore. We are pretty well set. I'd say we're going to order ourselves. I really don't know. At some point, I am. Ah, yeah. Let's order instruments. Why not? Instruments are always nice to have. And they want powders and amulets. So let's do this. So we have again some trading opportunity, and I'm going to outro with this training there. Or wait a sec. No, we don't have a trade caravan. So I'm a little bit confused. Usually the diplomacy came always with the with some traders, but no, I don't want any monster hunters here, thank you. Okay, I thought we'd have a trade caravan as well. Okay, so far so good. As you see here, we have now a nice place going here where we get our furniture enhanced. This is going to be very, very important for the next episode for our guild hall to be completed, because the items that are only once encrusted, they aren't that interesting. It really grows interesting when you start to encrust your furniture several times on top of each other, and that's where stuff gets interesting. All right, but we'll continue all these things in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. So far, this series is going extremely well. There's still a lot of things to do. We still have to expand the fortress non-stop, because we are constantly growing, and that's one thing you just have to manage. And well, so far we are withstanding that growth pressure quite well, though, I must say. So next episode we're going to go a little bit deeper down the Dwarf Fortress rabbit hole. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave me a comment, leave a thumbs up on that episode, and also consider subscribing. There is daily content coming up from my side, and I'd be super happy if you check out also the playlist link down there and those support links. I'd be really happy if you did. So have a nice day, and see you guys next time.